Hello and welcome to my review of Red Dead Redemption. First of all, I know only a few of you are probably watching at this point. Thanks a lot for the subscribes. I know it's only a few friends. But okay, basically, so Red Dead Redemption is the first game that I will be reviewing. Down the road, the dusty road that it is, I will hopefully be reviewing a few movies, really just whatever I watch, whatever I play, whatever I take interest in. Okay, Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption was made by Rockstar Games, which sounds more like a music company, but it's not, so stop getting confused. And basically they made other games, such as Grand Theft Auto 1 to 4, even though at some point they just went, no, we'll abandon the numbering system, we'll just slip a few in here and hope nobody says anything. And they also made games like Bully, in which you were just a bald bully who was a bit overweight yet extremely strong in a boarding school, and you just really just murdered other children. It was fun, but bit weird. Anyway, right, okay, so it was made by Rockstar Games, and what Rockstar Games are famous for is for sandboxing. Okay, sandboxing isn't sand fighting each other, it's not like boxes of sand. What sandboxing is essentially a large world game in which the player can go anywhere, do a large number of things, and is not restricted to any one particular path. Examples of these games would be Fable, where you can go anywhere. Well, now, you know, I mean, you can go to places and you can do things. Go anywhere is maybe a bit hefty on that one, but a perfect example is Rockstar's own GTA, Grand Theft Auto, which is a fine example. You can go from island to island, stealing cars and guns on your way, meeting numerous people, having, like, really just infinite possibilities of your path throughout the game, as opposed from simply going from level 1 to 2 to 3 to the boss fight and just starting the whole thing again. So, what is it that's incredibly unique about this sandbox game? Well, Red Dead Redemption is basically a cowboy game. It's just like the old Western movies, with lots of guns blazing, with lots, and I mean lots of horse riding. Maybe, I mean, it's fun for a while, but it's like, oh look, it's a little horse, I'll aim on bubbles. But after a while, okay, the horses get a bit irritated, but they're also quite cool because you can name them bubbles, and I mean, that's class. But no, seriously. So what's unique about this sandbox is there's horse riding, there is not beautiful scenery, but there is scenery. There's, you know, like sort of a Sahara Desert region. Well, Sahara Desert, really? No. Just like there's like forest regions, and there's swampy regions. There's cactusy regions. More cactusy regions. There's lots of regions. Is the point I'm trying to get across. And so while you're riding through your horse in these multiple cactusy regions, you can do many things, which is where the box gets its sandbox elements. An example of one of these things is you can hunt wildlife. Then you can skin them, do whatever, and sell that for money. You can play poker. You can, and it's mean, but it's quite fun. You can tie people up and leave them on the train tracks. It's fun, okay? And I mean, there's an achievement going for it, so don't look at me like I'm mad. But so yes, basically, that's what makes this game unique. And while you're out there, obviously you're using period guns. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it'd be a bit unfair if somebody pulled out like an automatic rifle. You know, I mean, it's back in the cowboys, so you're more or less using these big old revolvers that actually work incredibly well, and there's like no gun jamming, which is brilliant. Although one thing that I would say about the guns in the game is that I realise I'm rambling, is that you get a thing which I believe was first used, or was first like made, you know, a serious sort of a deal in the game Gun. It was sort of like a bullet time thing in which you could more or less just stop time, aim up a few shots, resume time, and then just those shots would be taken. And it seems to be a big hit with Western games. Like, for example, so Gun used it. I remember God, it was a while ago since I played it, in the game where there were two, one of them was fast, one of them was heavy armor. In the, Call of Juarez, Bound in Blood. In that game, they loved bullet time so much, they had two different types of it. That is more bullet time than you need, but no. So in Red Dead Redemption, we actually only have one type of bullet time, but it's all you need, and you do get a limited amount, but it comes back so quickly. It's it's sort of like having an allowance of like a million euro a week. Okay, you are still on an allowance, but you're not really too worried. So basically, so it's all of these period things put into the sandbox, as opposed to cars, prostitutes, and drugs, which are in the more modern ones. And one thing which I would say is in the more modern ones is racism. And it is present in Red Dead Redemption, but not, all racism. More sort of, well, basically, it's better if I explain it to you, because, I don't agree with racism, but you will constantly be referred to in the game throughout as a gringo by all of the Mexican men, who all of which are drunk, as it turns out. Which, it is a bit dodgy, but it's only, it really does make you feel like you're watching one of those old movies where, all of the Mexicans are drunk and they're always giving out about white people. So as far as that goes, yeah, it's great. So that's one thing that the game is bringing up, drawing you into its massive sandbox, saying here's every mental ballistic thing that you can do, go do it. But just that alone would be remarkably unstructured. So what they have to do is they have to tie in a story, a plot, if you would. And that is where this game succeeds. Because, it's not just them going, oh look, there's a horse, call him Bubbles. What they're actually doing is saying, yes, there's a horse, call him Bubbles, but ride him down this road. And this is down a road of lovely, deep, rich storytelling. Your main character, I believe it's John Marston, I'm willing to stand corrected, is essentially coming from the west coast of America, where he had a family and kids, and now forced to by the government, has to track down his old fellow gang member, if he ever wants to see his kids and wife again. And so he's basically just this, straight talking, no nonsense, tough man who will shoot you if you get in his way, but at the same time he is a heart of gold. The characters in this game are amazing. There's one corpse, there's one guy who just loves exhuming things. He buries sandwiches just so he can pick them back up again. There's they're mad people. There's a guy who goes around selling this lotion which can apparently cure all diseases, which it can't. It really can't. And and there's also another guy called Irish who's he's just drunk. That's his thing. Look, there's the guy who's good with guns. There's the guy who has all of the liquid. There's the guy who buries people. There's the drunk guy. That's a lovely stereotype. It's one of the few games where everyone is all sort of, brought together by these mad racist stereotypes. But what it does do, though, is it brings you in as well. You are absolutely nuts if you just can't feel yourself getting excited while you're going through the story in this game. And so, you go throughout the story. A lot of the missions are the same. It's usually someone going, yeah, I don't like those guys. I do not like them one bit. I want you to go out and kill them. And that, that's something new for this type of game. And you will be getting a lot more of it, but it seems fresh in sort of, you know, in the same way that